This is going to go horribly wrong.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's going to be great.
I'm really bad at this.
Welcome to Movie Phones Unscripted. I'm Ryan Kwanten. I'm here with Zack Snyder and Jim Sturgess. And we're here to talk about Legend of the Guardians. So we're going to answer some of your questions, as well as pose a few of our own. I'm going to get the ball rolling, gentlemen.
Go for it.
So our first question is actually from Matt in Los Angeles. And he wants to know, Jim, how does the animated film experience compare to being in a live action film?
Right, that's a good question. I mean, they couldn't be more different. I mean, specifically from the live action movie that I'd just come from before I started did my first session on Legend of the Guardians. I was shooting a film called The Way Back, which was entirely shot outside. There was no studio. We didn't even shoot any interior scenes. It was a film about a group of soldiers and prisoners who walk from Siberia to India. So I just done this kind of incredible journey. And I remember I rocked up at the sessions in Los Angeles with a full beard, bloodshot kind of eyes, and the idea of the characters was that they'd all been starving to death, you know. So I was in pretty good shape. Do you think the Legend of the Guardians is able to transcend the perception of animated films being just for kids, and in what ways?
Catherine Lasky wrote this series of books, and the books were written for, young adults. We didn't try and make a movie that was either just for kids or just for adults. We just wanted to get Catherine's stories into this film, and so I don't think it was. In our minds, anyway, when we made the movie, the animators and myself, and I certainly feel like when you guys were rendering the characters, I didn't want to make a movie that was talking down to kids, where we were saying like, oh look, I wonder if a kid would think this was cool. So I think that the overall experience is just, we try to make an immersive world so that if you're an adult or a kid, you believe in the reality that we try to create in the film. So. And
kids can deal with more than you can think, I think, They can handle a bit of emotional weight.
Now, Ryan, what drew you to the role, and what guidance were you given about how to create your owl voice?
Well, you gave me absolutely no guidance.
Zero guidance. That was like one of my ideas. Like, don't give him any guidance.
Right, give him total and utter freedom, which is dangerous for an actor. One of the sort of the key things for me was going back to sort of what Jim was talking about earlier. Pretty much all you have at your disposal is just a microphone. So you have to suspend disbelief even more so than you would if you were on a set. So in my head, once I sort of dived into that world of owls, I never once sort of thought that I was playing an animated character. I was a living, breathing owl. So every sort of movement, every sort of vocal intonation had to have that kind of air about it, I had to move with feathers. I had to move as part of that world.
We have an unscripted question to Zack Snyder from me. Could you please, Zack, tell us a little bit about your tattoos and what they are about? And would you ever consider getting a Legend of the Guardian tattoo across your chest?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have one already. I don't want to show it because I'm so ripped that I don't want to frighten anyone. Well, this tattoo, this is my wife, Deborah, who's a producer on the movie, and this is her name. And these other tattoos are, that's my alert status, of course. And
your favorite color.
And this is my alert status.
Right, yeah.
And then that is, I don't know what that is.
But
I just woke up with it.
Because they were giving out transfer tattoos at the at the
I wanted them to give out real tattoos at the premiere, but it's...
Yeah, we could have done that, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were doing face paints of all the different characters at the premiere last night. And Zack's dad.
My dad actually got a.
A club, but he hadn't seen the film, so he was like, "Oh man, I got the evil club."
I don't know if you can see this, but this is my dad. Anyway, I told him to make like an owly face, and he did.
You've had some pretty enthusiastic female fans. What's the strangest encounter you've ever had with one of those?
There are some bizarre ones. I had. One recently was a letter that was sort of addressed to me that sort of said, it was 5 pages long, so I'll spare you the details, but it was sort of something about would I perhaps think about giving my sort of love juice to help her in creating child.
Oh, nice.
That was a very, very bizarre and completely
Yeah.
unscripted, and so we should
I
probably
feel
move
like,
on to the...
No, let's talk more about the love juice and this
It's
particular
very
lady.
conducive to an animated
Did she
family
send
film.
you? Did she send you a picture of herself?
No, that was not included in the
No.
package. There was a test tube.
So you couldn't judge.
Because you
Maybe-
can go to that website that would, doesn't it, like if you take two people, it like makes a picture of what
yes.
they would look like. So you could have maybe.
tried it out, see what your babies might have come out like.
Yeah, a scary state of affairs. That's all I'm going to say.
Ryan, what about you? What about growing up? Did you have any like particular influence books or anything like that that made you?
In terms of that animated world, I
I don't
always...
know that. It doesn't have to be necessarily animated, but just something that I think. Was there any stories in particular that like drew you to maybe to acting or even just?
There was two things. The things that always sort of transcended just like a one-dimensional capacity. I liked sort of Star Wars, the fact that it had all these sort of metaphorical references in there, the good versus evil battle. It wasn't just, two forces. There was a whole much, there was so much depth to it. And then on the animation front, I liked Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I think that was the first time I'd ever seen sort of...
That's a great movie.
Yeah, the combination of animation and, real actors working together. And at that point, it was totally and utterly seamless to me. And that was really...
That movie holds up pretty good, actually, if you watch it.
Really? Yeah,
Yeah, I'd like to see that again.
Yeah, you can watch it again. It holds up pretty good.
And what is your opinion of the 3D revolution happening in Hollywood right now?
I think that, look, 3D, I think 3D is cool. I think that 3D has, its place maybe in Hollywood, I think, or in the future. It's hard to say exactly. I'm not, I think the verdict is still out, but I think the one cool thing about Legends is it does sort of remind us, like, what's possible with 3D, because I think the 3D technicians have done an amazing job here with this movie. So you get to like go, wow, okay, that's what they meant when they said 3D could be cool.
And because I'd never seen a 3D film before, I saw Guardians last night, and so and so it was my first experience of seeing it in 3D, and and you just cannot deny its power when you watch a film like Legends of the Guardian.
I thought I saw that when I looked forward and there was a guy sort of reaching at the screen.
No,
and
for real. That first feather that comes out, I was like, "That's impossible. How do you do that?"
You're
I
like,
have no
ow,
idea
my
how you do
eyes.
that.
That's why you have the glasses. In case it pokes your eyes out.
From flying feathers. But no, I was blown away, honestly, Zach.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
totally floored by the animation and the 3D.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Ryan and Jim. And thanks, Movie Phone, and everyone watching, sending in your questions. And don't forget to check out Legend of the Guardians, September 24th.
Applause.
Well, I thought we were in this, like, virtual computer world.